Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Scunnyman Rob, and welcome back to the channel. We didn't get a lot of news this weekend, so we're going to have a short video. So let's hop right into the news. CNBC post op-ed: Xi and Putin tout a redistribution of power in the world, and they aren't shy about their ambitions. This is big. The two leading authoritarians of our time have declared unprecedented common cause, perhaps even a de facto security alliance, with aspirations of shaping a new world order to replace the one fashioned by the United States and its partners after World War II. Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin wanted to make sure that the world didn't miss the importance of their 38th personal meeting in Beijing on Friday, just hours before the opening of the Winter Olympics, and with more than 100,000 Russian troops threatening Ukrainian independence and sovereignty. So they publicly released the entirety of their audacious 5,300-word joint statement in English this weekend, declaring that a trend has emerged towards redistribution of power in the world, namely toward them and away from the U.S. and its democratic partners and allies. Wow. There's a lot in that statement worth reading and digesting, but here's my rough executive summary. Russia and China are throwing in their lot in a gesture of cooperation that exceeds even Stalin's partnership with Mao in each other's region and around the world. For the first time, Beijing has joined Moscow in opposing NATO enlargement and embracing Putin's vision for a new European security order. Russia's returned the favor by opposing the new Australia-US-UK security agreement, endorsing its one China policy, embracing the Russia-India-China cooperation format, and blessing its Arctic role. Russia and China aren't calling their partnership an alliance of the NATO variety, but they aren't shy about its ambitions. Xi and Putin read the statement, reaffirmed that the new interstate relations between Russia and China are superior to political and military alliance of the Cold War era. Friendship between the two states has no limits. There are no forbidden areas of cooperation, emphasis added. Strengthening of bilateral cooperation is neither aimed against third countries nor affected by the changing international environment and circumstantial changes in third countries. A Biden administration official sees a silver lining in that the statement doesn't mention Ukraine by name, perhaps showing China's discomfort with the prospect of invasion, but at the same time, Xi has nothing to dissuade Putin's escalation, and there you have it, folks. Ties between China and Russia could never be better. We know security and energy play a massive role in these two relationships, but I'm interested to see how things between these two superpowers develop. We already know what the end game is. It's for China and Russia and the world's banking cartels to set up that pan-Eurasian superstate, and if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, we have an article here from the big dogs themselves, the World Economic Forum, that I want to read. Eurasia, the supercontinent that will define our century. The end of the Cold War was supposed to inaugurate Europe's age of reconciliations, when the continent, finally at peace with itself, would be able to exist as a unified whole. But reconciliation worked perhaps too well. The disappearance of the Iron Curtain also meant that Europe struggled to differentiate itself from lands to the east. By expanding it, it might expand without limits. By retreating it, it might become an importer of instability. The decade that brought down the Berlin Wall was also responsible for opening China to global capitalism. Deep value chains were quickly established, together with the infrastructure, both physical and digital, necessary to make them work. It is frequently forgotten that this infrastructure was first developed by Western multinationals and financial institutions. In recent years, Chinese authorities have increasingly taken on this task, and with the Belt and Road Initiative, a development project of unmatched ambition, they intend to be firmly in control. Spanning some 70 countries and requiring investment approaching $4 trillion, the initiative is deliberately intended to reshape the global political and economic order. Let me read that again. Spanning some 70 countries and requiring investment approaching $4 trillion, the initiative is deliberately intended to reshape the global political and economic order. China's trade with countries along the Belt and Road rose 17.8% year-on-year in January 2018. With the disappearance of old ideological battle lines and the establishment of new trade links, a new geographic entity has started to emerge: Eurasia, the supercontinent extending from Lipson to Shanghai or even Jakarta. One could argue that this is a return to an older time, but the dawn of a new age would be a more exact description. Romantic images of the Silk Road or Marco Polo's adventures cannot hide the fact that trade along those routes was insignificant, and almost no one made the whole journey from sea to sea. As for Genghis Khan's empire, practically limitless as it was to become, it still obeyed the iron laws of empire and was organized around a power center. A genuine meeting between East and West was a creation of our own time. And ladies and gentlemen, it's all written for us right there in black and white. They tell us what they're going to do before they do it every freaking time, and they don't give a rat's ass about what we think. It's all about restructuring that new world economic field and having Eurasia be the center of it all. What a time to be alive. So moving on, we have a tweet here from Cointelegraph. Asia, the new crypto hub. Even though China is not the biggest cryptocurrency fan, Asia has 28% of the overall global transaction volume. And Asia's crypto landscape continues to thrive unabated by others' crackdowns. Places like Singapore, Thailand, Japan are playing a huge role in defining crypto's development pathways and futures. And this is why Asia and Europe will be the new top superpowers in the oncoming years. They're focused, they're determined, they're willing to innovate, and they want to have a bigger role in shaping the world. So moving on, in other news, we have a tweet here from Cointelegraph. What is the next step for Web3? Most users agree that high gas fees are considered a massive barrier to entry. However, if those fees disappear, Web3 will attract more users. And I believe Vechain has the answer to this problem. We don't have near the amount of traffic Ethereum does, but there has to be a good reason why Vechain left them and went out on their own. With the stuff they have in mind for enterprises, you would think that they have this issue solved. We have a tweet from Vechain themselves. Vechain is a fully programmable layer 1 smart contract public blockchain, the same as Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, Cardano, Terra, Cosmos, etc. that has proven its scalability and technical readiness and is adopted by Fortune 500s like Walmart and Bayer. That is the future. And ladies and gentlemen, the partnership they have honestly should be able to speak for themselves. For God's sakes, we already have companies like Walmart and DAV making transactions every day, and it's only a matter of time before we have a dozen more Fortune 500 companies doing the exact same. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Skunnyman Rob. Make sure to go give me a follow on all my social platforms, link in the description below, and tell your friends and family that Vechain is the golden goose. I'll see you next time.
This one for the old me. I was getting back to them. They was trying to hold me back to the old me.